So the reason Half-Blood Prince is probably it's either my second or third favorite movie. Half-Blood Prince is really good for me because I like the gritty, depressing atmosphere because like we almost had that in like Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix is like it's a mixed bag because it is mostly like grim and depressing, but it's not because terrorists are trying to kill you and take over your government and invalidate you as a human being. It's because I don't like the new headmaster and she's kind of a bitch. And the government, my local government is incredibly incompetent and refuses to address local issues and actually deal with them properly. Doesn't that sound fucking familiar? But Half-Blood Prince is just depressing all the way through. I like Half-Blood Prince's setting, in essence, Half-Blood Prince is the last time the Golden Trio, and any of the students actually in Hogwarts, it's the last time they're allowed to be kids, and they know it. They know it, but they're not, but they don't at the same time, because even though Half-Blood Prince is, like, pretty thoroughly depressing all the way through, and it's really dark and gritty, there are moments, like, there are like, small moments, you know, of joy, like, that you take pleasure in, like, Hermione talking about her parents. This is really the only time I ever say a positive thing about Hermione this whole time. I'm trying to, actually, now that I say that, I'm trying to remember anything that Hermione did in Order of Things that really pissed me off, and I can't think of anything, but I'm sure there's plenty. The bit where Hermione is, like, gushing about her parents being dentists, and no one else getting it, but she's just, like, you know, smiling and remembering family, and everyone else just doesn't get it, and it becomes kind of awkward. Oh god, I have to put on Half-Blood Prince. I remember the start very well, because Dumbledore cucks Harry. He doesn't cuck him, he cockblocks him from some pussy, which is hilarious, and then takes him to, that's not how Half-Blood Prince opens in the book. It's like, I think Dumbledore rocks up to the Dursleys' front door, and like, is like, can I come in? I'd like to... Oh, look at all this muggle shit. This is interesting. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But because how the movie starts is great with Harry trying to get pussy. And, like, being decently successful at it, actually. For someone who has no game whatsoever. And then Dumbledore just appears and he's like, "You're not getting laid tonight, Potter. You're coming with me." "Professor, I told you I'm not gay." What? No. What do you think How did you know? Who told you? Was it Gellert, the fucker? Slughorn's introduction's really good, actually. I really like Slughorn. I like his actor. Don't know his name. I always like Slughorn. He's great. He's a great character in the books, in my opinion. He inhabits the qualities of a Slytherin while also still being a good person, which is, like, if you ever meet, like, someone who is a Slytherin, or chooses to be in Slytherin, they will always bring up Slughorn to defend themselves and be like, this guy, he's a good person, and he's in Slytherin. He's not a dark wizard. It's like, while that's true, and while Horace isn't necessarily evil or even malicious, really, in any way, he is still a selfish man at his core who desires to be surrounded by powerful people and their influence because it makes him feel accomplished in his life. That's kind of pathetic on a base level, but because Slughorn just is kind of a fucking comic character, a comic relief character in a lot of the stuff he does, and the way he talks, the way he carries himself is great. His line delivery is fucking amazing. I really like Slughorn. There's obviously the whole overarching plot of the Half-Blood Prince book diary. The Half-Blood Prince, is it a diary? It's a textbook that's been written over. The Half-Blood Prince's book, it just helps Harry out throughout the school year. He becomes really dependent on it, which the movie does a really shit job of exactly portraying why Harry is so dependent on the Half-Blood Prince's book. It's because he sucks at potions. The reason he holds on to it is because he's like, he wants to pass potions, otherwise he doesn't become an Auror. He hates potions class. It's probably a combination of the fact that Snape once did it, and that he's just bad at it, basically. Despite Lily being one of the greatest potioneers of her age, which is funny, which means Harry basically got all of James's skills, which included no potion skill whatsoever. So he the only reason he wants the book, like as badly as he does, is because he wants to pass potions, become an aura eventually, and then he'd probably, I don't know if he'd get rid of it at that point, but he certainly doesn't need it after that. And then after the book proves to be useful, and proves to be more than useful actually, and then he finds spells and shit in it, which the movies only show one Half-Blood Prince book spell, technically two if you count Levi Corpus, but I don't. Sectum Sempra. It doesn't show Muffliato, or whatever it's called. It doesn't show... I forgot the others. Muffliato, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The one that makes it so people can't hear you, basically. That's one of the most useful spells in the book. To the point where, when Harry was using the book, he told Hermione about that spell, and she loved it so much. It became, like, one of her most used spells in the war. Because it's fucking really useful. But she still condemns the book, which is completely... So, like, in the movie, when you just see, it's like, he sees the book, and then, with Ron, and then he fights over and he grabs it, and he hits him over the head and shit with it, and then later on, when he's reading it, he's just like, it's mine, no! No! And then it's like, it just makes him look like a fucking child, and because he doesn't share anything from the book with anyone else, and he just basically keeps it to himself. He just looks like a fucking golem creature, just defending this fucking book, when in reality, he was helping most of his friends with shit from the book. And then in the Deathly Hallows movie, Hermione is using spells from the fucking book. And they never bring that up. They're just like, no, she's perfect. She's allowed to do whatever fuck she wants. She just gets this for free. She didn't get it from Harry. What are you talking about? She was like, no, that book's disgusting. It's gotta go. Your book is cheating. I don't like it. I'm perfect and you're doing better than me and I don't like it. And then in Deathly Hallows, it's like, oh, I'm gonna use the spells from that book that I pretended to hate because you were doing better than me in school. Fuck movie Hermione. Every time I go on one of those rants about Hermione, I get really tired and I just have to like slump back like, oh man. Half-Blood Prince is also, I'm pretty sure, the movie we get a lot of the most of Ginny and Harry, which is like a scene, maybe. I think they have a scene in Deathly Hallows Part 1. No, I'm not sure about that actually. Like, oh man, it's Ginny's involvement in the movies is itself a meme because she's hardly in the fucking movies. but then by the time this is another problem with the previous movies failing to establish things that in Deathly Hallows are not, that they're required to have existed in the first place, like secret keeping or Ginny's relationship period with Harry, you know, and other stuff. Because when it is just done or introduced in Deathly Hallows, it's like, whoa, stop, whoa, that came out of nowhere, because it's like, hang on, these two are a couple? What are you talking about? They've spoken twice. I'm pretty sure that scene's right. Aragog's death in Half-Blood Prince is really sad, even though the last time you saw him, he was trying to eat Harry, and he was really big and scary, and in one of the best scenes in Chamber of Secrets, I think, like, yeah, one of the best scenes in Chamber of Secrets, and just to see him dead is really sad. And then once again, Slughorn proving it's like, at his core, he is a selfish man. He is a good man, but he is a selfish man. Those are not mutually exclusive. And it's like, could I pilfer this corpse for profit? Yeah, sure, man, go ahead. And then, to give him credit, he did, like, do a few final words for Aragog, and then he stayed back and did a few drinks. I don't know if that was because he wanted to, or because he felt obligated that he had to, because he stole fucking venom from Aragog's body or not. I don't know. And the bit where he talks about the fish that Lily gave him in Hagrid's hut, and then eventually leads to him sharing the memory with Harry, that's one of my favorite scenes in Half-Blood Prince. It makes me tear up, like, nearly every time. It's a really beautiful scene, really emotional. Really like it. Oh, I can't talk about that yet. Oh, the Felix Felicis is... I love the lore. I love the lore behind Felix Felicis, except it's done really dirty in the movies, because it's just like, all that's explained about is, all Slughorn says is like, this is really hard to make. and really bad if you fuck it up, and that's all he says. So, Felix Felicis, I think, takes 8 months or 10 months to make. I think 8 might be the Animagus potion. It takes a long fucking time to make 1 dose of Felix Felicis. 1. 2, you do not want to overdose on Felix Felicis, because I'm pretty sure it gives you permanent bad luck for like a long time. I'm pretty sure. If you fuck up making it, it'll explode really violently, and I'm pretty sure also give you the bad luck debuff. I'm just gonna call it a debuff. So it takes forever to make. You can't have more than 1 dose a year, basically. For the duration you have it, you have good luck in all your endeavors. So, a lot of people really don't know how to fucking read, apparently, and they misunderstand Felix Felici's, like, use, because everyone's probably seen the meme by now of just, why didn't Harry just take Felix Felicis and then be like, I'm gonna go try and kill Voldemort? Luck isn't, it doesn't give you superpowers. You know that, right? Luck is just like, it gives you, as it's described, it gives you the ability to achieve things you were already able to achieve without the potion, just with a greater margin of success. And that is it. It does not just infuse you with the knowledge of how to kill Voldemort. Do you know what would happen if Harry took the potion and then his goal, like, that minute was, I want to kill Voldemort? Do you know what the fucking potion would do? The potion would be like, okay, so, first of all, you can't. Second of all, the best thing you can do is not fight Voldemort, and what it would probably do is be like, I don't fucking know. It wouldn't do that, though. Or, like, people also joke, it's like, why don't you just, like, take Felix Felicis and go hunt down the Horcruxes? It's like, you need to know where they are. Like, it would give you greater luck of, like, finding a way to destroy them, maybe. Not like then and there, but just finding a method, like in a book or something. And that's it. People, I fucking hate how people read Felix Felicis and they just go, oh, God potion. Oh, instant win potion. That's not how it fucking works. Please stop saying it. Also, most of the knowledge of the Half-Blood Prince movie I'm using is actually inside my brain right now, off the top of my head, is coming from the game, actually, because I know the game better than I know the movie, if I'm being honest. I do love the memory sequences in the pensieve in Half-Blood Prince. I think they look nice. I've always loved the visuals of the pensieve memories, and they basically don't change when they're introduced. Oh yeah, when was the pensieve introduced? In, like, Goblet of Fire? Yeah, it was, because of Barty Crouch. Yeah, that's right. Do I actually need to put in Half-Blood Prince? I don't wanna. I'm trying to think of what happens in Half-Blood Prince. I'm embarrassed that I don't know what happens. Oh, right, we get, right. I remember. So, at the start of Half-Blood Prince, when they're in Diagon Alley and they sneak on Draco and see him in Borgin and Burke's, in the movie, Draco's just, like, molesting a cupboard or something, and then Fenrir comes into view, and then they hide, and then he closes it, basically. In the book, they're surrounded by they're surrounding a glowing cauldron that's, like, green and shit, and it very, 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 very fucking obviously looks like a Death Eater initiation ritual, basically. And then in the movie, they just, they have him looking at the Vanishing Cabinet, which I'm not upset about, because the Vanishing Cabinet is actually, I think the Vanishing Cabinet is more important than Draco being a Death Eater, because that's more of a clue in on to what he's doing, even though they never figure it out. Like, they're not even ever close, like, not even, like, Harry's just like, what happened to the Vanishing Cabinet? And it's like, it's there, it's in Borgin and Burke's, hasn't moved, and that was basically it. And that was basically the last he ever heard of it, until Dumbledore dies, and that's it. Anyway, on the train to Hogwarts, Harry is like, Draco's a Death Eater, he's planning something, and everyone's like, Nah. Nah, no way. No way. Not possible. Draco, Death Eater? Pfft, nah. And then he overhears Snape talking to him about, like, the unbreakable vow and shit. And, like, about plans and shit. And he tells Lupin and other members of the Order, and they all just go, nah. And then it turns out Harry was right the entire time. Draco is a Death Eater. They were planning something, and because of the inaction of other people around him, thinking he's just a dumb fucking kid with, like, hatred issues, because he was once when he was fucking 11, but now he's 16, and it's like, nah, you're just a kid who Snape was mean to you, so that means that you're just making this up because you want us to be angry at him, not because he actually posed the threat. He posed the threat. He killed Dumbledore. I know it was planned, but that's beside the fucking point. Because the point is that Lupin, a veteran of this current war, and Harry, a veteran of the of both of them are veterans of the past 2 fucking wars technically, and Harry, like, kids during wartime, children hyper mature, like really rapidly mature. Because they're forced to face the truth of, like, death and, like, imminent destruction and the possibility of never seeing loved ones again, and the loss of home and the loss of property, the loss of normal livelihood, and through all of that, they have to mature. If they don't mature, they go insane or die, basically. And like and Harry's entire teenage life and a large chunk of his preteen life has been nothing but conflict and war. Like, Philosopher's Stone, him being like, Snape is a meanie to me, that means he's evil, that means he's the bad guy. Checkmate, Brainiac. It's like, yeah, you're a dumb fucking kid, blinded by the fact that there's an adult who's slightly mean to you, and then you automatically pick them out as, like, you're the bad guy. It's like, yeah, that's dumb. He's a 16-year-old Lupin who has gone through so much loss and so much torture and pain and misery. When he was 11, the worst thing that happened to him was he was knocked out in the chamber of the fucking, where the stone was, and that's it. And by the time Half-Blood Prince rolls around, he's lost his godfather, he's lost a personal friend, he's been physically tortured innumerable times, and mentally tortured innumerable times. He went through the Triwizard Tournament, all the shit he did in Azkaban, ordered the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, alone, and Lupin's like, you're a baby. You're a little bitch baby man who just doesn't like Snape because he's mean to you. Fuck you, Lupin! If any member of the Order even bothered to listen to Harry, Dumbledore wouldn't have died. And I know that's how it happens in the book. This is me, like, actually criticizing the overall story and not just the movie. This criticism applies not to one medium, it is all. I forgot about the really awkward bits with Ron, like, trying his fucking best to cockblock Harry. I just forgot about that. The bit where, like, Ginny is, like, feeding him or whatever, and he's, that's good. And then Ron is just like, just in the middle of him, and just being a fucking cunt. Man, I don't remember if he did that in the book. All I know is that my boy Ron got done fucking dirty in the movies because they wanted to push Hermione to be perfect, and that meant there had to be someone beneath her, and it can't be Harry because he's the main character. But Harry is still, like, blandified from what he is in the books. Harry taking Luna to the Slug Club, and Luna, like, just being like, I'm glad we can do this. Like, it's almost like we're friends. And Harry's like, I am your friend, Luna. And she's like, oh, that's nice. I love you, Luna. I love you. You're my favorite character. There's a reason I've been hunting this fucking figure down, despite how rare and expensive it is. It's because I love you, Luna. I have tons. I think I have like 3 or 4 Luna figures. There's the bit where Ron got sick with the love potion, because it was meant for Harry or something, and then Draco's like stupid assassination plan. So like the poison wine, I think it's wine, the poison wine that was gonna be given to Dumbledore, but instead, because Draco didn't like foresee the possibility of like a circumstance outside of his control, it was given to Ron, and then he was cured, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, you're fine. Apparently, if Harry wasn't there, Ron would be dead, because Slughorn, the potions master, just froze up when a student was poisoned, and had no idea what to do. So it's lucky that Harry was there. The cursed necklace from Katie Bell. Why a student, though? Like, I know it's like... Also, hang on. Katie was impurized, which is actually a term, which is actually a proper word, impurize, under the Imperious Curse. Katie was impurized to deliver the necklace to Dumbledore. Did Draco just not tell her to not touch it? Was his only instruction, deliver this to Dumbledore, and then he just vanished into the shadows thinking, job well done, without thinking that maybe Katie's just like, I wonder what this is, and then suddenly becomes Samara from The Ring. It almost killed her, and she basically lightly grazed it. Well, she had to have opened the wrapping, otherwise, like, she wouldn't have been able to fucking touch it. And then what's the other one? Like, he tries something else. I swear he did. Anyway, Katie comes, the bit where Katie comes back, and then Harry figures out that Malfoy did it. The duel in the bathroom is... I like it a lot. It's a good moment. It's too short. I fucking hate one change they made to the duel in the bathroom. In the books, I keep saying... I can't compare. When I say that, I mean, like, I'm never gonna be like, this didn't happen in the books, therefore this is bad. I'm going to evaluate whether or not a change is good or not, but I'm not just gonna automatically say, well, this is different, so it's just awful. That's what I mean every time I say that. I should clarify. The reason Harry used Sectum Sempra on Malfoy wasn't... He didn't... In the movie... The duel starts, and they, like, run around a bit, and they're throwing stuns at each other, and then Harry rounds a corner, and then just uses Sectum Sempra. In the book, like, and I hate it, because it makes him look like a fucking moron that is just like, what's this? A curse that I don't know what it does? Sure, let me just use that. Fuck it, just throw it out there. What actually happens is that Harry rounds the corner, and Draco starts the incantation for the fucking Cruciatus curse. And Harry, in response, before he can finish it, in his brain, he's got like 3 seconds, or not even, like 2 seconds to respond, and his brain is just like, he's gonna use the Cruciatus curse on me, I need to do something. And his brain's like, Sectum Sempra. Just quick, like... Not an accident, but not planned either, and not really thought through well. So it's an accident in the end. It's still his fault. It's an accident though, and Draco gets hurt, and then Snape comes in, doesn't really say anything, and then just lets Harry get off without trouble, because Snape knew where he got the curse from, because he wrote the book, obviously, and so Snape didn't want to draw attention to the book or the curse, basically, so it was just kept under hush-hush. I hate that the movies portray Harry as, like, just portrays Harry as this fucking moron who's just like, I am slightly inconvenienced, Sectum Sempra, rather than, like, self-defense. It becomes from the books, where it's self-defense, very poorly thought out, half justified, half unjustified. The consequences of that curse are pretty immense, and it freaks him out. It turns from an accident into, it was willful ignorance. It was just purposeful stupidity. Just him being like, fuck it, let's go, and then consequences happen. It goes from an accident to just entirely his fault on stupidity. I hate I hate how often the movies just portray Harry as a fucking moron. I hate it. Of course, the climax of Half-Blood Prince is the best part. The Horcrux hunt for the locket, and Dumbledore's death during the Death Eater invasion. So, the Horcrux hunt is really fucking good. They changed it from the book. I keep saying they changed it from the book where Dumbledore and Harry take a boat out to the cave in the books because it said like because he said this place the cave is protected by magic that doesn't let him just straight up apparate there, and that's fine. And in the movie, he can just apparate there just to save fucking time. And it's never said that the cave is enchanted and protected. It has it because the implication is that the defense is the Inferi Lake and not necessarily any enchantments you can put on. Also, getting in there requires you sacrificing a person, or at least a hand, you know, and some blood to get in. People got real fucking upset because they're like, Dumbledore can't apparate from Hogwarts. That's not allowed. First of all, it's Dumbledore. He has no rules. Shut the fuck up. He can see through Death's cloak. He has no rules. I don't care. He's the headmaster too. So like, why the fuck is apparating out of Hogwarts like the most unbelievable thing you've seen so far? Why are you so angry about it too? Shut up. The lake itself is a beautiful scene. I love the lighting. I love how it is entirely pitch black in that cave without light, and I love that. I love Dumbledore summoning up the boat and then dragging it in, and then them getting across. The sequence of Dumbledore drinking the Emerald Potion is always sad. No matter what mood I'm ever in, it's always quite depressing to watch, and I think, like, yeah, him just screaming about his sister and about how it's his fault and about how he needs to die, and it's like, yeah, that'd bring any man down to his knees. And then the following Inferi fight that Harry utterly miserably fails to combat until Dumbledore works up the power and strength to actually get up and fight off the Inferi with fire. Then they apparate out, which is... No, they don't apparate out, actually. He summons, like, a pathway with the flame to the boat to get out. That's right. I'm glad I didn't misremember that. All of that, which is all great, is immediately followed up. By the way, like, the tension in the lake, the fear, the horror the fear of the Inferi and the horror and the sense of dread in that entire sequence is beautiful. Very well done. Half-Blood Prince is nearly a horror movie sometimes. And then they get back to Hogwarts, and it's immediately followed by the Death Eater invasion, where Draco comes up and he's like, I need to kill you or else he's gonna kill me. Like, once again proving Draco's not evil, he's just a kid who's scared. And all the other Death Eaters follow up. They have their little interaction. Dumbledore reveals details about, yeah, it has been Draco the whole time, basically. And then Snape comes up, and he goes up to Harry, and Harry's like, I'll kill you, cunt. And then Snape's like, no, shh, no, I'm here to help. And Harry's like, I love that microsecond after Snape hushes Harry. I think in that instant, and I mean like instant, as in like flash in the pan, it's gone, instant, I think Harry genuinely trusted Snape. I think he, for the first time in his life, I think he genuinely believed that this was a good man, and that Dumbledore trusts him, and Dumbledore's proved to be nothing but trustworthy. If Dumbledore trusts this man, then I will. And I think it never really set in his mind until that moment where Snape is like, I'm here, calm down, I'm going up there, I'm taking care of it. And for that tiny iota of a moment, Harry trusted Snape. For the first time. I was about to say the only time, but it's not the fucking only time. Because well after his death, Harry completely and utterly 100%, 10 trillion% trusts him, as he fucking should. And then that moment of pure trust is completely usurped by Snape walking up the stairs, right through all the Death Eaters, Dumbledore looking down at Harry, giving him a little wink. I think he winks at him. I vaguely remember a wink. And then, Severus, please, kill me. Avada Kedavra. Hits him, knocks him off the tower flying. I love the cinematography for that. The instant Dumbledore dies. I love the curse hits him and he's fallen back. When this camera cuts to Harry, it's like shaking and it's like, you know, like really like struggling to stabilize, and I love that. It's like that's probably what Harry feels like right now, a bit of shell shock, just like that's why I think like he trusted Snape, because it's like, oh thank God, I'm fine. Snape's here. He's gonna go up there. He's gonna help Dumbledore. He's gonna and just completely fucking rocks his world, basically, with that bombshell of just you should have never trusted this man, even though you should. And then, yeah, Bellatrix summons the Dark Matter. There's a bit, actually, when the Death Eater's, like, running out of Hogwarts, where I don't know who it is, but someone's standing in the Great Hall as Bellatrix is, like, parading out of it, and they just eat shit and just fly out the door. I don't know who that is. That's a fucking hilarious part. They're escaping down. I don't know why they're running. They're escaping down past Hagrid's hut. They blow it up, and then the Harry Harry tries to verse Snape, fails miserably. Snape's like, "Yeah, I'm the Half-Blood Prince." The ending sequence happens or whatever. Film credits roll. Half-Blood Prince. Half-Blood Prince, I think I enjoy a lot because even the mundane parts, or like almost every scene is filled with some kind of tension, which is completely understandable because the wizarding world at this moment is currently on its tippy toes with the revelation that Voldemort's back, and so everyone's looking around to every corner. Everyone is shitting their dacks. You remember what I said before in Order of the Phoenix? Is like, Voldemort being alive means that my family's dead now. So, with the revelation that he's alive, everyone's looking around each other's corners, everyone's looking behind their shoulders, everyone's not trusting everyone, so there is constant tension in the air, and you can really feel it in a lot of scenes in Half-Blood Prince. And I even did remark earlier that Half-Blood Prince almost feels like a horror movie. It's very tight and dark and, like, personal, but with some, like, tiny gems of, like, hope and, like, sparks of happiness spattered about, and then it's completely demolished, and then it's completely gone by Snape just completely fucking steamrolling Dumbledore down the stairs. Dumbledore's funeral also. Dumbledore's funeral wasn't in the books, where everyone was holding up their wands. That's not really a funeral. I don't know. Mourning, I guess. That didn't happen in the books, but it's a great addition. It's a great. It's a vigil, I think it's called, or something. And it makes sense that everyone would be grieving Dumbledore. He was the greatest wizard of his age, so of course everyone misses him. And then the final kick in the nuts is Harry discovering that the locket is fake. That stings. Yeah, Half-Blood Prince is like one of my favorite movies, actually. I'd say, like, I'm gonna say I like it more than Deathly Hallows Part 2, because the only reason I like Deathly Hallows Part 2 is that it's the finale of the war, and Deathly Hallows Part 2 is like a pretty great conclusion, but we'll get to that.
You see, he's traveling, and he won't return until term resumes.
Traveling where?